people at اشرف who were protected were lied to. Every member of the organization, the resistance at اشرف, received a signed letter saying we would protect you. From what I have seen and the people that I know and what took place, this was a criminal act, a crime against humanity, murder. So I fear for the lives of the remaining members of the resistance in that country. Martin Kobler, under the United Nations, set all the conditions for these people to be slaughtered. The United States has the responsibility. We promised them. Hossein Mandanani spent a great deal of time with me. Hossein was killed less than 12 hours later. You are the vanguard of freedom for the Iranian people and for the rest of the people in this world who are opposing fundamentalism. Thank you for what you're doing, what all of the members of the resistance are doing, because all of humanity is going to benefit from what you are standing in your beliefs in freedom, democracy, and equality.
General Philips, I thank you very much for being with us in our studio. It's a great privilege to have you here. My first question is about your feeling when first you heard about this attack to Ashraf.
I was asleep when I received the phone call, and I became very ill. My wife asked me what was going on, and I told her the worst tragedy that we feared, and she started crying. I wished I could have cried. It's been so many years since I've been able to shed tears. But I was absolutely ill when I heard this horrible murder that could have been prevented. These people did not have to die at the hands of these murderers.
You know, there has been a quadruple agreement between U.S., United Nations, Iraqi government, and the residents. As also they were protected under the Fourth Geneva Convention, and they were guaranteed by the United States officials to be protected. How this attack can be explained?
The fact that the people at Ashraf who were protected were lied to. That is the only way I can explain it. I was one of those officials who provided the information that in return for the weapons, you will be protected persons under the Fourth Geneva Convention. Every member of the organization, the resistance at Ashraf, received a signed letter saying we would protect you. I was raised by my parents to tell the truth. Well, my own State Department lied to me because I believed them. I believed when I told them they're going to be protected persons. So the only way I can rationalize this in my own mind is a very small number of people lied to their own army, to members of their own army, and had us pass those lies. There's no other way you can explain it.
Exactly. You might have heard that Iraqi government has provided contradictory information or explanations about this attack. And Meanwhile, there are some parties asking the Iraqi government to investigate on this attack. Do you think they are able to do this, or what is the obligations of United Nations and United States regarding this attack?
The government of Iraq on its own cannot conduct a truthful investigation into the murders that took place at اشرف a few days ago. Just cannot. The United States and United Nations has a responsibility to force the Iraqi government to allow in impartial individuals to conduct an investigation. And they should be held to task for that. The United Nations, with the backing of all the countries of the world, should force that. And the United States, who provides a great deal of resources militarily to the Iraqi government, should freeze those until this can be looked into. Although, I don't think the investigation would be very hard. From what I have seen and the people that I know and what took place, this was a criminal act, a crime against humanity, murder. It was slaughter against unarmed, protected persons under the auspices of the Fourth Geneva Convention.
Yes. Right now, the people in Liberty, they are saying that we don't want our killers to protect us. This is what they say. In such a situation, they ask the blue helmets of United Nations to be present in Liberty to provide security and safety for them. How this can be achieved?
I think it should be demanded. But my concern is with the United Nations representative who set the conditions for this murder, Martin Kobler, under the United Nations, set all the conditions for these people to be slaughtered and lied to get to the position that we're currently at. So I'm not so sure I trust that organization to protect them. We know we can't trust the Iraqis. That's been proven multiple times in the past few years. The United States has the responsibility. We made the promise to them.
You have seen the photographs or clips of those people who were martyred whilst they were handcuffed and they were shot in the head. Some of them you knew when you were in Ashraf, like Hossein Madani and others you mentioned in your different speeches. Do you have any memories of them you want to share with us?
I have so many memories of so many people that I met at Ashraf. Hossein Madani spent a great deal of time with me. You would have to say it was almost like a brother relationship, because we argued like brothers argued about different conditions, but yet on the other side we also very much cared about each other and what the end result would be. I brought some pictures of my good friend Hossein Madani, and one of them in particular, it just shows he and I seated. And I'd like to leave this with you. And we're seated there over discussions about how to provide logistics. And I have so many pictures of Hossein and myself. One in particular, in this photo, I look quite concerned because I was describing to the people, if they go through the biometrics and they go through the investigations and interviews during what we called Phase 2, they would then become protected persons under the Fourth Geneva Convention.
Exactly.
At the time that photo was taken, I had no idea I was passing a lie on. I believed it. And Hossein was by my side translating that. About 3 days ago, I received an email from Hossein Madani. I thought I was too busy right then to answer the email. So I told myself I will get to it till tomorrow. Hossein was killed less than 12 hours later, and I was never able to answer that email. And that will haunt me for the rest of my life. Hossein, along with the 51 other martyrs, are heroes. They're freedom fighters. The people of the world should be just absolutely in honor and awe of what these people did. I speak a great deal about Hussein, but there's 51 others, many of whom I know, who are just as dedicated. But Hussein made a commitment with me that one day the two of us would walk the streets of Tehran when freedom reigns and the tyranny is gone, and we would sit down at a small cafe and we would talk about the past, about the days at Ashraf, about some of the bad days and some of the good days. I'm still going to Tehran because I have belief that freedom will reign in that country soon. I will walk the streets until I find a small place to sit down. And I will order 2 cups of chai, one for me and one for Hussein. I will fulfill the commitment that he made to me, that we would be there. And I will be there physically, and he will be there in spirit.
Thank you very much. And now that your friends, residents of Camp Liberty, are watching our interview, if you would like to address them.
As you know, I started off many of my speeches talking about Madame Parsai and Madame Zora and Hossein Mandanani and Davari and Bari and so many others that are friends of mine. Don't let this atrocity, this murder, stop you. Use it right now to strengthen your heart and your belief and your feelings that you are doing what is right. Because your brothers and sisters were struck at Ashraf by evil. And you are the vanguard of freedom for the Iranian people and for the rest of the people in this world who are opposing fundamentalism. Stand strong, because there are a great deal of others out there. Yourself, myself, many of my peers, many of my former soldiers. We are pulling for you. We are keeping you in our prayers. And I can guarantee right at this moment, I know my wife is praying for you, because she said she would be praying for a long time to come for freedom in your country. So hold tough. The 52 martyrs and those who died before them, they don't want you to give up.
I thank you very much once again for giving us this opportunity for the interview, General Phillips.
You have absolutely honored me, and I'm humbled by giving me the opportunity to come and speak at such an emotional period of time. Thank you for what you're doing, what all of the members of the resistance are doing, because all of humanity is going to benefit from what you are standing in your beliefs in freedom, democracy, and equality. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The people at Ashraf who were protected were lied to. Every member of the organization, the resistance at Ashraf, received a signed letter saying we would protect you. From what I have seen and the people that I know and what took place, this was a criminal act, a crime against humanity, murder. So I fear for the lives of the remaining members of the resistance in that country. Martin Kobler, under the United Nations, set all the conditions for these people to be slaughtered. The United States has the responsibility. We promised them. Hossein Mandanani spent a great deal of time with me. Hossein was killed less than 12 hours later. You are the vanguard of freedom for the Iranian people and for the rest of the people in this world who are opposing fundamentalism. Thank you for what you're doing, what all of the members of the resistance are doing, because all of humanity is going to benefit from what you are standing in your beliefs in freedom, democracy, and equality.